Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. And I wasn't going to do a second video today, but it's only fair, that as a West Ham fan channel, I should do my opinions on what has happened today. So some really good news and some really positive news that has come out of the club. Obviously after today's morning video where it was a bit of a downer in terms of Ogbonna and that news that we had yesterday. Daniel Kretinsky, I believe that's how it's pronounced, has now been confirmed by the club as well. It's not just BBC and Sky Sports sources. The club has officially said that he has now taken on a 27% holding of the club under a holding company. Him and a guy called Pavel, which is interesting. Obviously, one of the big things that's come out as well, it seems that obviously David Sullivan has given up his total control share of the club, which you have to have 51% of the club. That has now been diluted, I believe, to 38.8%. David Gold has also gone down to 25%, which is very, very interesting, which opens up a more, I would say, a fairer, more professional board, rather than you've got three people that are going to just sit there and go, yeah, okay. And David Sullivan also having that total control to be able to change things, and it's just what he says goes, basically, and that's what it has been for a long, long time at the club. It's now going to be three people there discussing the future of the club and where it goes forward, and how the budget's spent, and how it just seems that there's becoming more, hopefully more professional club. Obviously, Rob Newman coming in as a scout. When Moyes come in there was no scouts anywhere at the club. And there was that joke of an advert, if you remember, a couple of years ago about, would you like to become a scout at West Ham? It's voluntary. Like, there's no pay. The fact that we're now trying to build that. Another scout was announced today, a scout of European football. Apparently, apologies, I can't remember his name. But all these little things that just should be our Premier League club, and a club that wants to be and has ambitions of being a top club should be run. There should be scouting networks, there should be football directors. That's how football has gone there. There's all these little departments that keep the whole thing running. The reason a team like Man City and a team like Liverpool and a Chelsea, for example, are run so well is because they have all these little departments that keep the ship running. One department goes, the whole department goes. So it's good that we're starting to slowly see this being developed, and hopefully even more so now that this guy's come in. Interesting, like I say, that he has taken on 27%. Apparently, if he goes any more than, I think it was 30 or 35%, obviously then you have to go through the proper, the FIFA thing where it's like, are you good and proper? That's it, the good and proper test. Obviously, that has been avoided now, and it's a way of going through it cleverly without obviously having to do that, and without actually having to give any of the percentage to Newham, which I believe is 2023, I believe. So this is good, and it does, as I've kept saying for the last months or so, we've got less time with these Sullivan and Gold than we have with them, than we've had with them already. It's a good way of going about it. Apparently, most of the money is going to clear the debt. Who knows? We'll find out more and more as the days go on, I assume. You would like to think, though, because I know Paul from the channel has been quite sceptical about it, saying that West Ham fans, he said that he don't feel that we should be getting that excited about it. I wouldn't jump on the fact that we will have all this money to spend. No, we're not going to have masses. There's not going to be a huge amount. It's not going to go boom, 100 million in January. But even if he can pump 40 in January, so 40 is quite a lot of money to spend in January. Their clubs don't usually spend that amount in January. But as I keep saying in my video the other day, in terms of what can we achieve as a football team, you've got to look at it that, you go while the fire's hot. If we're still in and around top six, which we should be, unless we have a complete and utter disaster, you want someone to go in there and go, right, bosh, there you go, you got 40 million, or sort of roughly, and I'm not saying 40 million, boom, that's it, around that 40 mark, if he spends 38, if he spends 43, 44s. If it's what David Moyes wants, and it's, David Moyes is not going to just go and waste money. That's one good thing with him. He won't just, because he's got 40, 50 million, whatever it is, He won't just spend it for the sake of it. We've seen that, you know. He didn't go out and just buy a striker for the sake of it. He didn't do it in January last year. He didn't go and do it in the summer because he didn't get the one he wants. But now, if he's got the opportunity to go and get who he wants, and I keep saying names, Lingard, Tarkowski was a good one mentioned because of the Ogbonna injury, and he's out of contract. He will look at West Ham as a up and coming, good project. And then obviously a striker as well. What strikers, I don't know. You know, there has been mention of, do we go back in for El Nesri or do we wait to the summer? I don't know. He will definitely look at West Ham differently now. The only thing that potentially may keep him there is that he doesn't want to come to England. Maybe he don't like the cold weather. Maybe like Spain, his kids come from his school. There's all them, you know, there's all that stuff to come into it. I was talking to my Newcastle pal actually today when it got announced, this Daniel Kretinsky thing. He said something came out from Newcastle. Apparently, all clubs, again, this is all speculation, whether it's true or not. I'm not doubting him, but obviously where he's read it from, but who knows. Apparently, the 19 other clubs have obviously done this thing with the sponsorship, so to try and stop them getting sponsored, to stop money going to them for a while. And they've also agreed, apparently, this is all 19 other clubs have agreed something that if you are to sell to Newcastle, it has to be at a premium to make Newcastle spend more money. And also, other clubs should let other clubs have first dibs on your players. So, for example, like Lingard, who is being linked with Newcastle and West Ham, if this is true, West Ham would have the first dibs. Same with Tarkowski, etc., etc., etc. So it's very interesting whether that plays any part in it now going forward. Very, very interesting in terms of whether we can get players in. And then there is the argument of what is the better project. At the current state, West Ham are the team you want to play for. But with a bigger picture, Newcastle are going to be a force. They are. Whether it's now, whether it's in 2 years, they are going to start. They will be a force at some point. You know, they will progress and probably go well above us at some point. And it's whether someone like Tarkowski looks at that and goes, oh, I can earn big money there and potentially be a big club in a few years' time. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? But yeah, that's something to look out for as well. But yeah, very, very positive. Very, very positive news. Like I say, let's just hope that this is the start of a little bit more professionalism. And I quoted him earlier, didn't I? But I'm going to quote Gio this time. Gio said a really good thing on his video. Literally, that's just what inspired me to do this video as well. He said, let's not think of it as solidifying ourselves as a top 4 Champions League contenders, but actually solidifying ourselves as a top 6 contender. Let's not, you know, let's not run before we can walk. You know, we want to get there at some point. You know, you want to be a consistent, you know, getting there, qualifying for Champions League. Amazing. That's the dream, you know, if you can get there every year. But, you know, the next step for us when we left Upton Park, the dream we were sold was to be a consistent European club. You know, yes, they said, oh yeah, we'll be Champions League in 5 years' time, blah, 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 blah. But actually, all I wanted, I don't know what you guys watching, I would like us to do what we're doing now. You know, I wanted us to be regularly getting Europa League football. And I was happy, me and Paul said it the other day, I was happy that we'd just get to the group stage. The fact that we're already in the knockout stages is amazing. But progress for me would have been consistently getting a Europa League, consistently getting in the group stage, and, you know, gradually building like the other clubs did. You know, I hate saying them, but like Tottenham, they had their few years in the Europa League, then they got in the Champions League, and obviously they've dropped off a little bit now. But that's how, you know, that's how you consistently become a stable European team, and you start building it, and other players start getting attractive, and then you've got a good Europa League level team which can hopefully potentially get to that top 4 levels and maybe win trophies. That's hopefully now. Hopefully, I hope this video don't come back to bite me, you know, and you have that laughing guy going, top 4. But that's all I hope for. It's just to be competitive and stay competitive, not stay still, not stagnate, not get to a point where you've got aging players and you've got a real problem where it's like, oh, we need to replace this striker, we need to replace this one. No, just have a fluidity, you know. And if it doesn't work out with Moyes, you have a manager that goes in with the same sort of mantra as Moyes and can work with Moyes players to keep it going. You know, that's how good clubs work. I've gone really off on a tangent, but it's just, I'm just saying what this could lead to now. You know, an actual more professionally run football club. Let's hope and pray. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I think we're about 6 away from 3,600, which is fantastic. Obviously, like I say, I want to hit 4K at some point, but yeah, about 6 away now from 3,600. So, you know, we're steadily moving along, which is fantastic. And obviously I was away for a week when I weren't well last week, so the fact that you guys are still watching is fantastic, and all you guys commenting along, and ladies, is fantastic. Thank you so much for everyone that does comment along. Until next time, guys, if you've got any ideas for videos during the international break, please drop it in the comments. It's always nice, you know, to do the Ask Luke series during the international break, so please drop it in the comments below. Till next time, come on, you earns, keep believing. Let's go.